So you better choose your IT partner wisely. When it comes to this, there's a lot of big names. You have your Microsoft 365 products, SkyDrive, all of your Microsoft OneNotes. Those are consumer-grade cloud applications. I use Dropbox personally as my, for sharing my personal documents with myself on different devices. But when it comes to business data, that sharing of sensitive information that you obviously likely don't want someone else to have, that's your competitive edge, that's your niche, that's what separates you from your competition. So when you choose the right IT partner or application partner, make sure it's business grade. If you're sending out proposals and quotes, if you're sending them through email and it's not encrypted, that can be intercepted. The reality of it is that can be stolen from you. When you're saving things in Dropbox, you're saving things in SkyDrive, the consumer grade, that's not encrypted in 256-bit. So that doesn't have a X million variable to hack it. That's non-existent. It's a consumer grade. So in the business world, looking into applications like ShareFile through SōtirIS allows you to send an application directly to a target. It uploads it into a secure environment. The recipient downloads it, and you terminate the transmission. No more. You can only download it once, or 5 times, whatever you want to allocate. So when it comes to a proven track record, that matters. And you guys all are, a lot of companies are proud of who they've worked for. We've worked with XYZ, this company, that company. They're huge go-sayers in the industry. That matters as well. A lot of companies will say, hey, I know cloud computing. Cloud computing makes sense to us, we can sell it as a solution. Well, if they're not specific, if they're not vendor specific and focused in virtualization, which is the concept of cloud computing, then you're putting your business in a bad situation. Because if something comes up and they're not those subject matter experts, you're the one who's going to pay the price, not them. They'll just chalk you up. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of smaller companies work. And when you look at the businesses in the Commonwealth, a lot of you may have heard of the Buy Local Coalition. They're a nonprofit, kind of like an open networking group in York, Harrisburg, the South Central area. They're all about keeping business local. So all of you businesses that work in the Commonwealth or work outside of the Commonwealth, the money that you spend in the Commonwealth pretty much stays in the Commonwealth. And that's benefiting our families. That's benefiting everything. So when you're looking for an IT partner to trust in cloud-based computing, like SōtirIS, for instance, again, in the industry 40+ years, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. We're not a big, giant conglomerate that has 70 offices all over the place. By a show of hands, briefly, guys, who all has ever called Microsoft or any kind of IT company in their life? Anyone here ever had to call anybody? Well, for the most part, someone's had to call them from time to time, and you're dressed as a ticket number. They're like, hey, are you ticket number blah, 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 blah. When you call a smaller IT firm that is customer service centric, you're going to be addressed by your first and last name, Mr., Mrs., Ms., whatever your preferred method is. You're spoken to on a level that we actually think about your business as a whole and how it works and how these pieces plug into the whole picture of profitability, etc. So those are a couple key things when you're thinking about moving to the cloud and kind of going over, weighing the pros, the cons. I don't have it in my office, but do I really want it? Because I build things. I'm not an IT guy. So those are a couple things to kind of keep on. The next slide is going to be the final slide of my presentation, but I'm going to kind of go on more of an impromptu route. I'm not really a scripted individual. I don't like to follow a slide or follow a template. I like to kind of speak what makes sense. I'm passionate about cloud-based computing. My background in the United States Army National Guard, I did IT work in the Army. I did a lot of IT work through AT&T Mobility, doing with tablets and smartphones. So all my background is around that mobility as a concept, as taking a work, a need, a pain, and finding a way to turn that into an innovative, employee-centric, to drive that solution, that company forward. So when it comes to cloud-based computing, it's almost imperative, if you own or you're some kind of a decision maker in a small to medium, so 250 users and lower, if you have not sat down and consulted with someone who specializes in cloud or virtualization, give me a shout. Take the chance, take the time, 10, 15, 30 minutes out of your day. Sit down with someone to show you what you're paying now. Show you the electricity that you're going to save, the man hours that you're going to save, the support costs that you're going to save, the licensing, the hardware. There's hundreds of different areas from a return on investment side that you're going to save by moving to the cloud. But the only way to truly know is to sit down with someone who does it. Again, my name is Evan Henry with SōtirIS Information Strategies. This is kind of quick and to the point. I'd be happy to speak with anyone afterwards. Thank you very much.